getting ready for map number 1. Oregon is launching between Carnage and Chaos and Devious.
Carnage and Chaos versus Devious. NA Playday number 2. This is the first map of the first game, and here we go. We're getting underway. Devious is going to go ahead and take defense for the first 5 rounds. I kind of get tired of explaining this, but we are new in the season, so I will explain it yet again. For those of you that are new here, we do have new competitive rules. Whenever you pick a side, you play that side 5 consecutive times before flipping to the other side. And, of course, what I mean by sides is attack or defense. Skip up here. But either way, the first team to make it to 6, it's a best of 10. So the first team to make it to 6 will win the map. If we tie at 5-5, we will go into a 2-round switch overtime. And, of course, you must win by 2. It will go on forever until somebody does, as me and Flynn are so well aware.
Yeah, let's not. But honestly, that was the pinnacle. That was the turning point on Border. Was there was no Mira in play, an operator that, while you think might not be the most powerful to ban, it actually changes the outcome of the entire game significantly. Every game we've seen with a Mira banned in it has gone decisively close to overtime, deep into overtime sometimes. I mean, Mira is a staple operator that everyone has been used to for over a year now. Everyone operates default strats off of having a Mira. If you do not have that in play, it really throws things haywire and causes a lot of problems, and you go back to just straight up gunfights. And when you have 2 evenly matched gun-skilled teams, it goes deep into rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I will make an observation. A lot of the defenders taking a long time to get off site. As a matter of fact, 4 of them were upstairs setting up in dorms up until the setup time was over. The IQ will come in underneath, spot an ADS up in the wall. Fortunately, not able to hit it up through the floor. And then, finally, some of the defenders rotated down. And just like you said, in this sort of scenario, right, only 7 maps, because a lot of these players, it isn't their full-time job like Pro League. We've taken 2 maps out of the equation. Clubhouse and Cafe are not in our map pool this season, to give these teams a little bit more of an opportunity to thoroughly be able to, you know, learn these maps. And then another thing that's key in the strategy is teams can practice strategies knowing that they're going to ban specific operators on specific maps, right? You ban 1 attacker and 1 defender for every map. And so if you want to ban a Hibana and a Mira on purpose because you've practiced without her, then that could be an advantage in itself.
Absolutely. Being able to plan for the honestly unexpected, seeing both the, oh, there goes Neptune's taking down Detox in the back of stage. I was gonna say, if you can plan for the worst possible case scenario, you'll be in a good position. Sweater gonna drop super as he tried to rush down main hallway with a nice peek in behind the dresser. All right, Sweater rotated back to Kids. Now the second EOD goes out. That's both of them utilized. A flashbang coming up into Kids. Gonna blind Sweater as Vandal will repel into Kids' windows, trying to garner an angle onto him. Sweater had already rotated back deep to the big window. Neptune's holding that down as the Buck as well, trying to launch a frag grenade, but Vandal with a great shot takes down Sweater. And now looking towards White Stairs. Nip will trade 1 back, but not before Vandal takes down Jay. Now repelling straight into Kids. Diffuser is on the other side. It's going to be a backhand flank by Vandal, but he'll be shut down aggressively by Nip. Nip will get traded back out by Hopes, and it's all to Twix in a 1v2 trying to come back up the White Stairs.
Vandal absolutely threading the Pixel Needle. Will hop in and take 2 out before getting taken out himself. And because of that effort, they now have a 2-1 advantage. Only 30 seconds left. The diffuser is not being planted. Twix will hear some barbed wire getting hit, so he'll take some shots, miss. Shots coming all over the place onto him in a crossfire. Geo will eliminate Twix, taking round number 1 for Carnage and Chaos.
Yeah, it was a very good attack onto site, not trying to get too entangled with the roam game there. Carnage and Chaos initially take down, I think it was Jay, the... was it a bandit on stage? No, sorry. Can't remember the operator on stage. But it was Jay playing on the back of stage and behind the sandbags. It frag grenade to push him out of his position, and then immediately remove him, and then not worry about the secondary roamer. Not sure if he wasn't droned, if there wasn't the information on him, or simply that was their game plan to get 1 and get out. But it was a great collapse onto site, and everyone was in position for the trades.
Yeah. So here we go with round number 2. Now, the question is Devious going to decide to go back up, and yes, they will. I'm not sure if the operator lineup changed much from the attackers. I guess it's kind of typical that we see that somebody attempts to defend the site again if they fail the first time, and after 2 failed attempts, will decide to move it elsewhere. We saw that change a little bit the last time we saw NA play, which I liked. But, hey, what are you going to do? So attic will get reinforced, armory reinforced, even the door in a master bedroom will get reinforced. So a lot of deployment upstairs. I know a lot of times we'll see teams go down and reinforce kitchen or even meeting hall to defend kitchen, to defend that buck play from underneath. But fortunately for the defenders, no counter buck play because, hey, there's no buck.
Yeah, Neptunes was rocking the buck last time around. He was now pulling out the Blackbeard instead. I don't know if I really like that swap up. On Oregon, you really do like having the ability to breach from below. And although Neptunes was the one eventually rotating to big window, you do want to have that face shield in position. He did a good job regardless of the operator. So we'll see how this one goes, although I did like the buck loadout a little bit, or last round, sorry.
Yeah, you know, I like the buck too, and, you know, with the Capitao, with the Zofia, the Blackbeard, they're very usable in both sides, whereas Buck not so much downstairs, and that might be debatable depending on how much they're holding meeting hall. We can take attic and stuff like that. But either way, you know, you got the Zofia. You can open up the hatches, the soft hatches anyway. So, yes, Buck is a little bit, but they played the safe route, and they probably have a backup plan, assuming that Devious had picked the upstairs. But a minute off the board, a lot of information gathering, a lot of poking at some outskirt windows. And here are multiple players at the hole, and what a shot! Gio with the quick peek will headshot Sweater. I barely even saw him, that's how fast it was. And there's that pro-level play, pro-level aim coming at you.
It was a great job. It had to have been an expectation, seeing that deployable shield. It's usually a very good indicator that someone's going to be holding a tight angle down the hallway when you see that deployable. It was the same spot the Sweater and Nip had been rotating back and forth with last time around. A great read, a great shot by Gio. Neptune's taking a lot of damage off screen. A bad peek by Jay down the armory hallway. He gets dropped by Gio for his second in the round. His now legs being shot out. Nip gonna have to back away and re-heal as he escapes to safety.
Wow.
Manages to get away as Hope's unable to land the final shots. Nip gonna juice up a little bit more. Inside of Kid's bedroom is the right side of the Kid's wall, or sorry, master closet wall gets breached open by Hopes, and they're starting to aggress onto site. An aggressive peek now by Twix. He drops Hopes, but the refrag by Gio for his third in the round. Going off at the L85, he sees Nip gets the fourth. That's 4 on the round for Gio. It's all up to Detox now. The 1v5 as the Jaeger coming up, or 1v4 coming up White Stairs. More sprays coming through. Gio trying to acquire the ace, but Neptunes will take it from as they all converge. A wonderful round for Carnage and Chaos, and they go up a quick 2-0.
Absolutely. What a great job by Gio. I mean, he seems unstoppable at this point. Multi-kills every round so far. No, we've only seen 2 rounds, but beautiful play coming out from him. Yeah, so he's at 5. So it looks like he got a 3K that round, because I know for a fact he got 2 the previous round, swinging in through the kid's bedroom window. Everybody on that team seemingly cruising through this round. A lot of struggling going on the other side of the board. 2 donuts still on Devious. Couple of breadsticks, only 2 rounds deep though. So now we'll have to wait and see if Devious can kind of take a deep breath and turn it around. I know we saw that yesterday with a team down 4-0, brought it back to 6-4, and we're poised to bring it into overtime. That game ended up going into 3 maps. What a game that was. But here we go. 2 failed attempts upstairs will bring Devious downstairs. A lot of defenders taking off to set up elsewhere. A Bandit Castle, the Jaeger, the Pulse, and the Smoke. Obviously, no Mira being allowed. So a lot of Action Jackson-style operators being brought out to try and cause a little bit of some gunfights, maybe a pick or 2 upstairs before this attacking lineup has the opportunity to push.
Yeah, it's hard not to sympathize with the decision to go downstairs, even without a mirror. And it looks like Devious are attempting to go for a hard hold inside of meeting, bringing the castle. Honestly, I see Carnage and Chaos ripping right through this by going for a straight, for lack of a better term, APAC and rushing down the main stairs. That castle barricade needs to be impacted. It hasn't been prepped with an 11 hit yet. The only 2 operators on site. I think Sweater's rotating back now, and Jay should be downstairs with that smoke. But this hard hold, I think, is going to get ripped apart pretty quickly by CNC.
Yeah, Sweater getting spotted out on the drone. Blackbeard knows he's there. Sweater smartly will rotate back down onto site. He can be effective. There's a lot of soft ceiling right there that he can chuck his nitro cell up and try and get somebody running around the main hatch upstairs. Blackbeard's just going to sit and hold that. Thatcher doing a little bit of droning of his own. About 45 seconds off the clock, and the plan of attack is now being engaged as they are pushing hard onto the front lobby, just like you said. You know, normally when we see this much of a reinforcement setup in the meeting hall, you've got the mirror there on the wall so you can at least look into main lobby and know what's going on. Thermite will open this hatch up. The Pulse playing a very aggressive angle right up underneath the hatch. He's just calling to his teammates what he sees there in main lobby, and he's actually just missing the heartbeat of one of his opponents. He will get droned out. A very, very unsafe rotate. He'll throw the nitro cell up and not connect with anybody, but it will allow him to escape to safety and live to fight another day.
It looks like Gio's actually asking for a breach from Thermite Hopes to breach in through Pantry into Meeting. Not really sure why you'd afford the defenders a secondary rotation. That's exactly what's going to happen. It gets Bandit tricked out by Detox. So both teams playing an interesting strategy, but full main lobby control. No flanks happening upstairs just yet. I think Detox is thinking about it, but there is no hole. They're going to have to make their own rotate hole on the fly. There's the Claymore prep for the attic run. Vandal's taking some shots downstairs as he aggresses down the main stairs. Zofia t-shirt cannon getting launched out. Try and burn some ADSs. And asphyxiating bolts being sent out, as well as Carnage and Chaos are prepping for the plant. Smoke grenades go out, or sorry, smoke bolts. He's gonna botch the flash grenade and walk into some deadly gas grenade. He gets lit up, but not finished off. The castle barricade of the double meeting door will get opened up, but not Gio. Will take down Detox. And now Nip falls. Sweater trades one back onto Hopes. That was Diffuser. Vandal will take down Jay. Now Sweater playing alone on site inside a pantry. Has one flank left in his team, which is Twix. Everyone prepared for it. He's lighting up the feet of Neptunes. He actually downs him, but Gio will take down Twix. It's all up to Sweater on site. He falls to Vandal, and a wonderful execution onto site, not getting too caught up with that meeting hold. And CNC are up 3-0.
You know, the last time we saw the Hodgepodge team, we had them last season, Japanese schoolgirls, which were Elevate and Era players at the time, a mix of the two. They were playing a very, very aggressive, nonchalant, everybody's doing their own thing. There's no communication. Carnage and Chaos, on the other hand, are the opposite of that. Their communication is key. You can tell that they're waiting for their teammates to rotate back around to the main lobby when they decide to make their push. All the utility is being deployed before one of their teammates presses forward. And they're playing a very serious game right now, and I got to say, I commend them for doing so. A lot of times you have pros come down to CCS, which obviously we can't touch Pro League with a 10-foot pole as far as the level of play and the competency of the teams. But for them to be putting this much effort into them, not only respects us, but it respects the other team, and that they haven't devolved into, okay, let's just bum rush the site with, M870 recruits or anything like that. And their patience, their communication, and their great teamwork so far has really paid dividends.
Yeah, I mean, they are not getting carried away. They're not getting over-aggressive. They're playing a very level-headed game, which is not what I expected from them. Like you said, every once in a while you get the pro stack coming in, and they kind of do whatever they feel like doing. Devious are going back to this meeting hold, which Again, I understand it. You even saw Gio asking for a ping inside a pantry to open up the pantry wall. I wouldn't even do that to give them the rotate out. As long as you're focusing on site, you're good with this setup. The one thing I will say for Devious is it looked like last time around, Detox wanted to go for a flank upstairs. While they were ready for it, you still need to at least make that rotation to make it a possibility. You can fight your way out of a phone booth if you have to, but at least give yourself the ability to. Sweater getting caught off at the top of the main stairs again is that pulse, but Vandal unable to land those shots with the V308.
So a very similar attack coming like last time. This time a few in kitchen, just watching underneath that drone hole. Very, very popular spot, especially when you see a mirror there when you know somebody's going to be nearby. Sweater's still holding this very aggressive pulse angle. We'll just wait on his cardiac sensor to see if they are indeed planning a front lobby take. That castle barricade is gone, and Castle was forced to retreat back a little bit there on the main lobby door going into meeting hall. Also, the upstairs entrance into attic has been open, so not a lot of rotations can be done there. Glass is a little bit exposed with the floor below him being open, but I think that the Pulse is pushed a little too far back and isn't going to try and push those main stairs, especially now with the hatch getting open. And actually, they did put the castle barricade back. I think that thing got blown open. Anyway, a lot of drones coming in, getting some pings on them. They see that there are two indeed in meeting hall, and all of the attacking squad now congregating in the main lobby to do what worked so well for them last time.
Yeah, everyone's stacking. 80 seconds on the board. This is exactly when CNC tried to go for the plant last time around. They're all assimilating themselves above the main hatch, ready to go. They know they have to be wary about this rush out of meeting through the door. Smoke grenades flying. Glaz of Neptune's going to walk into sight and drop Jay immediately. Gets dropped down to about 25 HP, but discovered. Oh no! Geo takes down Neptune's as he down Sweater in behind Laundry. They're going to be going for the pickup. I think Hopes is getting Diffuser down in the back. He does get Diffuser down, trying to flank out of meeting are Twix and Detox as Nip and Sweater try to stay on site. Nip gonna get taken down by Geo covering the hallway. Twix busts out of the laundry room and drops Geo. Vandal gonna trade one onto Deox. It's now a 2v2. Twix is the last EOD, goes out going prone in hallway. Diffuser is planted behind the laundry machine as where Vandal lays. Sorry, that is Hopes laying down behind the laundry machine. Flashbang's heading into meeting, but Sweater gonna drop Hopes on top of the laundry bin. Vandal playing the bottom of the main stairs, has the angle, shuts down Twix. Now with time ticking down, sprays at the back. Vandal launching a flashbang to disorient Sweater, and he's gonna go up and press the issue. He's trying to take the engagement with the 5-7 in hand, has no time to defuse, and this is gonna be CNC going up 4-0. He's gonna test his crouch button just to be sure, heading into the back half of this game, that all of his keyboard keys are functioning properly.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't make it back to the diffuser in time, so he just had to get a little leg workout, so maybe next time that same result happens, he has a little bit more strength in his legs so he can run back and diffuse in time. But either way, that was a pretty good defensive hold. And I will say that while the diffuser was getting planted, both the castle and the Pulse, the two last remaining defenders, were both down. And instead of stopping the plant, the two remaining defenders that were up decided to resuscitate their teammates, which extended the round a little bit longer. Unfortunately, couldn't get the kills in time to defuse. So now a 4-0 for Carnage and Chaos. They will get one more opportunity to attack. Devious will have one more opportunity to try and make something happen on defense before these roles will swap. Remember, the first to 6 wins the map, unless, of course, we tie it at 5-5.
Yeah, I'm not getting too overboard yet, but it looks like CNC is definitely swept the board as far as their attack goes. They planned this, by the way. Both of their bans were the Hibana and the Mira on this map. There's no way they didn't anticipate A, attacking first, and B, putting themselves into this kind of situation. However, Wednesday, we saw 4-0 turn into a close game. I'm not going to count Devious out just yet, but if they can at least survive this round, get one on the board, give them some momentum, some breathing room for when they have the obvious advantage being on attack with no Mira, I think they might be able to turn this around. They just need to be playing at the same level as CNC. Right now, Carnage and Chaos look to be a well-oiled machine, which is a very weird thing to say about a pug-together team.
Absolutely. And you know, I touched on that. You touched on that. And not only were we surprised, but I'm very impressed. Geo will get the first kill in the first 25 seconds, hanging on that kid's bedroom window, the same spot he rained terror upon Devious the first 2 rounds, both of which he got multi-kills, and he is right back at it, raining terror once again. The rest of the attackers are doing exactly what they did last time, and why not? It worked flawlessly. It worked, you know, it wasn't even a close round either time Devious defended upstairs. It was, you know, 4v2s, 4v1s, situations like that for Devious by the end of it. And so they're spread out all around. You got a couple in Armory, one on Tower, one on Kids Windows, and you probably even have one at Main Window. I mean, they're just spread out all over. So the defense has too many angles to watch. It's worked for them so far. Why not?
Yeah, they're going for a 2-pronged take, and they've done it every time upstairs so far. They get open Master Closet. They breach it open with the Thermite, with no Hibana being available. An aggressive peek by Nip is not going to turn out well. He's going to dock himself up, but Neptune's rushing up to the window will give CNC a 2-man advantage, smoking it out as the EOD goes off. And now Jay has been taken down from the rooftops, hanging above his Vandal on that Lion. The V308 removes the smoke from play. Midway through the round, the breach goes out. Twitch trying to rush into the closet, lighting up the Thermite, and finally dropping Hopes. Almost potatoed it and lost his life there, but able to survive. Now pinned inside of Kids, trying to back away. He's playing ring around the rosy with the attacker rushing in. That was Geo and the Thatcher. He misses his shots. Geo going to rush in with the EOD going down. Detox will take Neptunes, but lose 99% of his life in the process. Now detected by the EOD, still firing wildly. Unable to land any shots. The rotation back in. Geo cuts him down from White Stairs. Vandal drops Detox. It's a 5-0 lead for CNC.
All 5 attack rounds successful for Mouse. And Devious is going to have to try and find something now that the roles are switching to get their game started. Because even if they end up losing the match, which, let's be real, they have to win 5 consecutive just to bring it into overtime, much less secure the W, to get at least a few rounds on Carnage and Chaos is going to psychologically help them a lot if they want to continue playing on the next map.
Yeah, this is a beatdown so far. I don't think there's really any fair way to describe it as an even match. It hasn't been at all. I talked about it. They're pro players. They play at the highest level possible in this game consistently. They are very good players. Geo obviously having a field day, at least on that Thatcher role, which again is something I touched on Wednesday as well. You know, I would rather see someone like sipping on OJ on dexterity and someone like Geo being more of a fragging role. But when you need that operator now, when there's too many operators you need on the board, I thought maybe the bans would balance it out. We'd see more Ash like we're seeing with Sweater here on Devious. But if it's working for Geo, it's 5-0 and he's like 10-1 or 10-2. Like,
yep.
I'm just nitpicking at this point. But you saw it on Wednesday as well. Sipping on OJ playing that support role, fragging out as well.
I have yet to see Carnage and Chaos do something wrong, period, so far, which is really intense. And Devious is not a throw to the side team. They're just not. And the fact that Carnage and Chaos are doing that to them right now, I mean, it's a little bit bewildering. I don't think we've ever seen a flawless a couple of maps. I know we've seen a flawless map or 2 in CCS. We've definitely never seen 2. So it is a very, very rare occurrence if we do indeed see a flawless win by Carnage and Chaos here on map number 1.
Props to Devious so far for the droning. That is 3 drones swarming super topside. I don't know if they spotted Geo on the Jaeger inside of Kids. They did a remarkable job of forcing Super out of where he intended to play, which is back tower, making him rotate all the way through attic over to master double window. Or inside of dorms now, as they have spotted out Geo on the drones. The 2-man roam topside, this is pretty common, but even more drones swarming. Now they just need someone in position to act on it, though. That's the problem. You got 16 drones swarming the guys, but no one in position to do anything about that information. You're letting too much time elapse. There's no one there to act on it immediately. They can change their positions quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to have real-time information, and Sweater will turn the corner as Ash get the first kill onto Super. That is the Vigil down. They know there's one more over there, a rotate hole between Small Dorm and Kids, but he will sneak down the back stairs as the Candelas come in, and a lot of time wasted here by these defenders. 1 minute and 20 seconds are only left, and they are still looking for the Jaeger, who by now is long gone.
Yeah, Geo got the hell out of Dodge as soon as possible. That EOD went off and trapped him on White Stairs, but no one had that information. They sent all those drones in the first minute. They all got killed off.
How many drones do you think they lost? I mean, that must have been 7 drones gone.
It was a considerable number of Vandal going to ruin Sweater's day as he comes down the back tower stairs. There's another one following. Jay will get the refrag, so they were in position to trade it back out. Now they're running out of time. They've lost their fragger, which isn't the end of the world, but they still haven't located Geo yet, who is just downed Twix. The Twitch inside a kitchen. He's still on a tear, but Nip will end his reign of fury. They'll pick up Twix, get the Twitch back, and leave it to a 4-on-2 with 35 seconds as they attack site with the last EOD going out. Yeah,
it is a 4-on-2, but a lot of the attackers are very weak. There's only 30 seconds now to work with, and you and I talked about it, you know, with that smoke downstairs. They got the black eye cameras deployed as well. Nip will hot drop. One of the nitros will go out and will not connect. Nip sees one. A trade will come out. A 1v3 now. Only Neptune's left with about 25 health. He'll rotate around, watch his flanks before he decides to push out. He'll get the head of one. Only a weak Twitch and Lion left, and this might be doable. And I would be very, very unsurprised if he managed to pull this off. He'll go for a couple of hits to try and bait him out. He'll find another. It's a 1v1 now. Only half the diffuser time is gone. If he could find the next one in a hurry, he might have the opportunity to defuse it. He's going to have to make a move quick. He gets the kill. He gets it down to the kill. He'll have plenty of time to defuse. And Neptunes with the 1v3 clutch will get the perfect 6-0 for Carnage and Chaos.
Jesus, Neptunes. Okay. Nobody disrespect Neptunes. Nobody peeked the man, ever. It was a wonderful bait, too, on top of the diffuser. I thought he'd go for another hit to kind of emphasize that he was diffusing, try and bait the team in, or the attacking team in even more, and time ticking down, pressure situation. Neptunes played that flawlessly. What a masterful clutch. And yeah, Geo also had a fun time on the attack side. Three-man squad really for CNC is Super and Hope's not really doing a whole lot, but they're there for moral support.
Listen, can we talk about something for a second? The 5-0, the first 5 rounds was sticking the knife in, but the 1v3 clutch for the flawless victory was twisting that knife. What an unbelievable failure to defend the diffuser by the defenders, and really, it was just sloppy. And I hate dogging on people, right? Like, this is what you did wrong. I usually like to be like, well, this is what the other team did right. But there was no reason why you should have lost that round. There's absolutely no reason. I mean, you got 3 people to set up a crossfire on one diffuser. You're looking out for one guy on said diffuser. So what are you doing? Why are you running around and peeking and stuff like that? Hold an angle. So if the defender has to expose himself to kill one of you, the other 2 will end his life. And he did the whole thing with 25 health. So anyway, it looks like we are not going to take a break, folks, but we are going to go directly in to map number 2, which will be Border. That's getting underway right now. And Flynn, Devious, man, what are they going to have to do to win a round, much less try and win this map?
Well, CNC, clearly knowing their opponents here, they've banned out Mira for the second map in a row just to get everyone in the audience up to speed on the op bans for this map. It was Ying Mira this time around, so both breach options are in play, and then Blitz Legion once again on the defensive side. So for Devious to win a round, I don't think it's that insurmountable of a task. I think it is very doable, especially on Border, a map that we've seen them play well in the past. I really think you're going to have to get a little more aggressive. And that may sound like a stupid thing to say going against the talent that is on the other side of the board, but they played very reserved. That meeting hold took 2.5 minutes on Oregon to really take shape in aggression. They just let CNC set up in the main lobby for 2.5 minutes. At that point, there's only 30 seconds left. They know you're coming at that point. Take that initial stance, take that aggression, try and catch them off guard with something. It all starts with one round, honestly. Don't look at this as like, just put the entire last map out of your head. 6-0, it's gone, you forget about it. You have 2 maps right now to finish things up and take the win. It is still doable. You just need to play a more natural playstyle to what we've seen. Devious in the history, we've seen them be much more aggressive. We need to see more of that now, and they definitely need to forget what just happened.
Absolutely. The thing about it is, and I stated on this last time, and I don't want to be insensitive or anything along those lines, but I feel like with these underage teams, sometimes the feelings are a little bit less withheld, a little bit less calmness, developed, a little bit less zen. And so sometimes you can kind of get worked up in a situation like this. And so we saw from another team just Wednesday that started out 4-0, another underage team lost 4 consecutive rounds, and we were very, very happy for them, and we even talked about how excited we were that they were able to suppress those emotions. And Neptunes, 1 minute in, gets a beautiful grenade from that top dome onto the Pulse, and that will be a very vital defender on this particular bomb site, especially when the attack doesn't push in and clear down below off the board. Either way, can this other underage team we have here in CCS suppress their emotions, focus, and play some good Rainbow Six? That is what we will need to wait and see.
So again, the attack for CNC shaping up for an office push. Nothing too surprising with no mirror on the board. You could pick either one and be fine. Usually the armory take with that mirror on the armory wall is a little harder to deal with unless you can actually get rid of that mirror, especially if the mirror is inside small office on the wall. Ping's coming out, but Sweater gonna drop hopes. He gets immediately traded back out, but Jay with a long shot with the SMG-11 will trade out Neptunes. That was the IQ and the Thermite off the board. A minute left in the round, a 3-on-3, and there we go. Devious starting to get aggressive. 2 men playing inside of offices along trip wall. One gets naded out, but a very good job of responding there by Sweater, and a wonderful shot by Jay to level things out. Now Devious looking like they have a chance. Smoke grenades going out into Fountain, as Jay is playing inside of Archives. There's no pressure coming from the armory side, so Twix could easily rotate and help his other 2 teammates. That's exactly what he's done. The stun grenades coming out through the soft wall. Super pressing up inside the smoke will drop Jay and back off to safety behind the reinforced walls of Fountain. Now waiting for an office rotate down main hallway. Gio's going to hop in radio windows. They can't get the wall breach. They're going to have to go through the doorways. And Twix is ready and waiting. Gio's already hopped in through the AC window, pressing up, shots landing for Twix, but not the headshot he needs. Super coming down main hallway will drop him, and it's all up to Detox now. 15 seconds in a 1v3. The plant not going down just yet inside of Archives. Gio is waiting for the cover. Concussion mines coming out from Super, but Detox is pressed too far away. Plant going down with 5 seconds left. The peek comes in from Archives, not going to land. A headshot by Detox drops Super, and now Gio gets the plant down. Vandal covering on the right side. They have the crossfire, and Gio hops out. Vandal will take down Detox with that SMG-11 red dot. Interesting decision, but nonetheless, it's 7 straight rounds for CNC.
It was a very good back and forth getting early into that round. Trades going back and forth. They dropped that diffuser on the east balcony. The soft wall was open. The window was open. And they had a presence in offices, or at least in Fountain area. And I was hoping that now that it was 3-3, the time was running out. I mean, the attackers wasted a lot of time droning and stuff like that. I was hoping Devious would do what their MO is, what we expect them to do, and take that trade, the fact that the time is running out, and maybe try to aggressively watch that diffuser being down. Obviously, they probably didn't know that it was there, but they knew that, you know, a lot of people on East Stairs, there might be more, maybe push up on them or something like that. I know that's not typically what you would do. Typically, you'd run back to site and try and turtle out the rest of the round. But again, that's not what makes Devious Devious. That's not what makes them so successful when they play, and what made them so successful in the CCS qualifiers. They needed a little bit more of that confidence back, but now, like you said, 7 rounds in a row for Carnage and Chaos, and I feel that Devious is now a little bit timid and not making the plays that we would normally see out of them. So here we go into round number 2 of Border. And so far, Devious not able to respond in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately, to the powerhouse of Carnage and Chaos so far. And, you know, we talked about what can they do, and I think that, just like I said, I think that timidity has a lot to do with it. So the attackers will go up to the top, and they will see, this is where they got a pick before with the grenade, and Super will get the easiest pick of his life on Sweater at the bottom of East Stairs. And that, my friends, is why you go there. It's such an uncommon spot for some reason, even though it's a great angle down. And first 30 seconds, Hope will get one of his own, a 5v3. There's still over 2 minutes left to play. And Devious falling apart here in the early rounds of Border.
Yeah, the first pick onto Sweater was not an instance of aggression backfiring. It was just a poorly timed rotation. You know they've been going to the roof both rounds. You know that's where they're going to go. They are pro players, for God's sake. Make that rotation a little bit quicker and you won't die. But that's part of the roam game gone, or actually all of the roam game, as Nip was also taking down that pulse, trying to get aggressive with the radio window, and he gets removed by Hope. Sprays coming in from Super, trying to check for anyone inside of Fountain, but it's the flank down hallway of Twix. Somehow Gio on drone a little too long there. Lets his guard down and drops Super in the process, but he will refrag it out onto Twix. Now 2v4 once again. A poor position as 3 attackers all stacked by radio window, 1 playing AC to push onto Archives once again. The drone's going to spot out Jay, and he's in a very bad spot. If Nep or Vandal have frag grenades, he can dispatch of Jay very quickly. That's exactly what Neptunes is getting in position to do. Instead, he's just going to walk in. Jay will take down Vandal with the jump out, but he will get traded back out by Neptunes. Wild Trace going back and forth. Detox somehow coming out on top of that, downing Neptunes. The plant going down to the back of Archives with the cover by Geo all the way in back with the L85. He's going to stick the plant, hopes will, and get out of dodge. He's going to drop a Claymore at the doorway, spraying through. Detox drops chokes. And now it's all up to Geo in a 1v1 as Neptunes has been down, but he's reloading, looking at Geo. What are you doing?
The timing, the one opportunity to make a clutch 1v3. He downed one, domed the other one. If he wouldn't have been reloading, the slowness of Geo's retaliation once Twix came into view. Was that Twix at the end there? No, I'm sorry. Once Jay came into view at the end, might have actually got Geo as well, but very unfortunate timing on the reload. And that will be all she wrote. That is 8 now in a row for Carnage and Chaos. And it's beginning to look a little bit like a blowout at this point.
I don't want to call 12-0. I don't think anyone wants a 12-0 called. I think Devious have it in them to at least get a couple rounds on the board. I think they're a little off tilt right now, based on the Oregon play. Near the end there, they weren't really innovating. They tried the meeting strat and then went back to it a few times and tried to go upstairs as a last-ditch effort on their defensive rounds. Their attack round was it should have been won, and losing it definitely would put you on tilt as well. And now back-to-back rounds where it looks like everyone on CNC is clicking perfectly. Devious, I believe you have what it takes to get a couple, but I don't know if you're gonna win the whole match.
Yeah, another thing that I'm now starting to think about is who decided the sides for map number 2. I'm not sure exactly who it was. I'm sure I can find that information and relay it back later on, but I'm curious if they being Devious voluntarily decided to go defense again, where they just got mauled round after round on Oregon. Because if they did, that would be very strange. If they didn't, I understand completely why Carnage and Chaos would decide to attack again. But, you know, doing something to switch it up, to change, you know, the terrible performance so far by Devious is, I think, would be priority number 1.
This is what I was kind of hoping to see so far on Border from these guys, a little better roam game. Nip, instead of getting knocked out at radio window and trip wall in the last 2 rounds, has gone downstairs to detention to go for a more delayed roam, and that's really what they need. He's going to have to deal with that Claymore at top east, and Geo posted up on top east as he's been both rounds. But I think if Nip can play it properly, he can get in and cause a lot of damage on the backside of the attack while they're not paying attention. They've also swapped Detox in to go Bandit, trick the Archives wall, as they've read into this constant office take. And on Border, office takes have just become the prevalent method of attack upstairs.
Sorry if that was loud, folks. I accidentally punched my mic. What did it do to me, huh? Anyways, Sophia pressed way into Fountain. She's done it before. She just sees the Bandit cross. Some bullets will go back and forth. They're both very weak. He'll see the knee, but Detox will take him down somehow and manage to survive. He's still actually alive there. Sweater will get one of his own, and now Devious showing some signs of life. Can they hang on? Hopes will get Bandit pinned into the B-bomb site in the corner, and now some droning will come out. And I love this poise. Let's slow it down. Let's gather some more information. Even though we've won 8 consecutive rounds, Nip will get a C4 on to Hopes. And now only 2 left. Make that 1. Sweater will get a double kill for the round. And Devious finally, in a good position to close one out. Sweater will get the 3K on Vandal. And Devious will not go down without winning at least 1 round.
Oh, super. Oh, honey. It was a good attempt, man. It was a good attempt. I'll say that much. I'm not going to put the whole round at Super's feet, but I feel like if they get that pick, he doesn't potato and die. Things go a little bit better. I mean, it was a wonderful job by Sweater with the ACOG position behind the A-bomb, looking all the way to radio window. Very well done. You just got to point out the mistakes, too. Jeez. But yes, Devious avoiding the 12-0. They do get their first round this evening, and it was actually rather convincing. That was the first time we've seen Devious really stand up and look like they have some control in the game. They actually have some aggression behind them, some fire. They're starting to feel themselves now. It's good. I like it. It's been weird seeing like a ghost of Devious in the last few rounds, just kind of going through the motions, not really stepping up and making any impactful plays. They spawn in, they do the same setup, they die. And that's how Oregon was as well.
Yeah, so now this is going to be a very, very crucial round for Devious, right? This is going to be the round that decides if that one round that they've won so far was just a fluke, or if it is a turning around point for Devious to maybe try and take border. It is not out of they're not out of contention. There's only a 1 round difference, and there's plenty of rounds to be played, even if somebody wins them all before this map will be over. So this is a very, very crucial map, I think, mentally for Devious to kind of either A, like I said, right off the last round is, hey, we got one, guys, we can go home now, or now we found our groove, boys, let's get after it.
And it looks like attacking a new bomb site here doesn't change up the methodology for CNC, as they're still going to go for a east-west clear, as they do have the stacked inside of office against trip wall and coming in the top of east stairs. They will have sweater to deal with the reinforcement, where typically you'd see a CCTV mirror and an impact to his left to take an angle and an engagement down the hallway. And also Hopes and Geo have somehow made it into bathroom undetected. We're going to quickly be breaching open the back of B wall. Or A wall, sorry.
A wall, sorry. Yes, that's exactly what it's called. So they will thermite it, place the claymore, because, of course, people love pushing out of freshly opened thermite holes. And the smoke actually thought about it. He'll go ahead and smoke it off instead, but that's the first smoke down. Only 1:15 off the board. Buck opening, tearing apart the ceiling above the defenders currently, and Pulse about to engage, but Geo, another quick peek. That's the second time we've seen him do that. Just quick peek, boom, headshot. Nip getting eliminated, and now not looking so good for the defense so far. They've lost the upstairs control. They've lost the east side of downstairs. And now here comes Vandal pushing in with the grenade onto Twix. What a shot in the small office. And more ceiling destruction will start taking place, because I didn't even notice until now they got the sledge and the buck.
Yeah, they've been running 4 frags on offense every round so far, and it's been working out for them. At least clearing the barbed wire. Vandal's going to claim another victim in behind the desk. Geo finally hits a shot onto Jay. It's all up to Sweater now in a 1v5 as the Rook playing below server room. Hatch is going to look up to the floor and take the 1 life of Vandal, but immediately traded out by Super, who won't miss his shot this time at the top of metal stairs. And Devious ripped apart. It looked promising there after their victory round, but that was a clean sweep. They do have the opportunity to go back upstairs, but I think Super's not going to miss his shot. I think they're going to be ready for Sweater playing it behind the A bomb again, and CNC with this office side take, the east side take of the building, have been dominant.
Gotcha. And I just got a word from one of my awesome producers, Cinco. Thank you very much. That Carnage and Chaos did choose attack on border, and I think that was a great move to force Devious back into a position in which they got annihilated 5 straight rounds the previous map.
So similar ops coming out, kind of actually. We're getting a, ooh, that's awkward. Ying's banned.
Uh-oh. So I think this is the part where we notify them of said choice, and I believe they have to TK the poor Ying. So Kaz, our observer, will probably notify them of that particular unfortunate decision on their part.
Just says TK the Ying. Oh, that's awkward. Unlucky. Unlucky indeed, Vandal. So, CNC going to start the round 4v5. It's funny enough, it was their ban, too, on offense. They banned Ying first. So, Geo going to be the one to put him to rest. Poor Vandal. He's throwing, absolutely. Nonetheless, we start out 3-1 lead for CNC as, again, they go for this east-west clear. Losing that operator, pretty important. If they had been able to bring the Ying, I would have liked to see what they could do, but it was their own ban, so Vandal just not paying attention to the bans.
They
They're getting a little carried away.
They made their bed, so now they'll have to lie in it. I actually like that we made the rule that they TK instead of a rehost and that makes them learn their lesson. They won't do it again. And until, which I think June is the expected release date for the in-game op ban system, which is going to be dope for those of you that played TTS, rather. I loved the whole new observer op bans all in game. It's such a beautiful, nice interface, and it's a lot less work for us. So there's that too. But here we go. 1 minute out of the round. Ying unfortunately having to be taken out because they are banned. You can see those banned operators at the bottom right of your screen. And Sweater will thread the needle, taking Super out, taking advantage of the 4v5 numbers advantage due to the mistake of Carnage and Chaos. And they really need to milk every last iota of this mistake on their behalf.
Yeah, Super again getting gunned down by Sweater, and he's been doing a lot of work with that ACOG so far on that Rook. I would have thought he'd take the Dock instead just for the more immediate utility, but nonetheless, he's opting to stick with it, and now a punch hole, a great reaction shot by Geo, so he's brought down to about 5 HP, a wonderful reaction. Geo dropping down Twix, the Jaeger inside of CCTV, and that was the flank in the last time around that did CNC in. The pulse information from below is crucial again. Hopes will drop Detox, so they've leveled up man count. Geo grabs Nip. That was the pulse downstairs. That was also with the Nitro the last time they attacked upstairs, and now they've turned a 3v5 into a 3v2. Devious falling off the board one by one. All the chess pieces tumble. Jay will get one back, though, as that's the breach off the board. Hopes has already opened up the wall, though. Neptune's easily able to regain control of the diffuser. Has the M249 as the option. Can be asphyxiating the door, but Jay will drop Geo. It's all up to Neptune's with the LMG Capital. More or toxic smoke bags being launched into archives. He's going to smoke off the doorway himself, wait for the pre-fires. Still hasn't regained control of the diffuser. I'm not sure if he's aware of this. He's inside the bomb site, pulls out the smoke once again, going to be covering himself and pressing into archives. There are no defenders inside, and he turns around, but Sweater, give him a little shake, says no to Neptune's, and that is the second round for Devious, looking a little bit better. 3-2 on defense, not bad. Not bad. They head to the attack, only down a round.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're the rest of Devious, you're going to give Jay and Sweater a cookie, a hug, a high five, or something, because after it was 3-5, the 3 of the Devious squad managed to get themselves killed without trading out a single kill, left it in the hands of Sweater and Jay. They got the job done, so great job by them to salvage that round, which, they started with a little bit of an advantage, being 4-5.
Yeah, it was a great recovery there by CNC. It looks like they read the play perfectly. I feel like if they just had one more member on the squad, they could have done a little bit more to close out that round in their favor. Honestly, losing Vandal to the unfortunate pick of Ying there is not what you want to start the round with, but they read the Nip pulse play down below. They read that Twix was going to be flanking, and Geo with a wonderful reaction shot onto Twix inside of CCT through that punch hole. CNC learned from their mistake. On their one round they lost upstairs, they just were at a disadvantage very early. Super getting caught off guard, getting a little too antsy rushing in. A wonderful angle by Sweater held again with that ACOG Rook, but 3v5s are hard to pull off no matter what, and I was impressed they got it that far.
I was very impressed that Sweater and Jay were able to hold it together at the end of that round, and they did a great job. Jay with that aggressive peek with that SMG-11 did a lot of work, so good on him. So now the roles will switch. Devious needs to find some success on attack. That's their only hope, is to find some success on attack and try and switch this the other way. Obviously, there's only a one-round difference, and so this map is not out of reach. And if they come back and claw their way through this map, it will go to a map number 3. The game will effectively be tied. It doesn't matter how bad you're beaten on map number 1. It could be a 32-round overtime, or it could be a 6-0. Either way, 1 point is all you get for winning a map, and 1 point is all you have to take back by winning the next map to bring it over to map 3.
Sweater immediately opening up the armory walls. It looks like Devious are not going to be taking a page out of the CNC playbook, instead opting for an armory take. They've pressed everyone out from behind half wall, as they had 2 operators playing in behind there. I'm pretty sure it was Super and Neptune's, the Jaeger in the smoke. Super's rotated back to behind the A bomb to take a more passive angle on the wall, waiting for someone to push in. Geo still in this roam game, has an impact nade. I thought he might actually be going for the run out east balcony. He holds pat, waits his turn, and now he's going to be going for it. Impact's right above the door, going to be looking out, but the Claymore perfectly placed, catches Geo off guard, and a man advantage now midway through the round for Devious.
Yeah, he tried to do that quick peek that he's been so successful with. Unfortunately, he needs 2 frames to do it. The Claymore got him in 1. Great planted little Claymore there. Will take out Vigil, which is such a nightmare on Roam, which is why we see him banned so often. And now another 5-4 advantage for Devious, but only a minute and 15 to work with. They haven't made much progress at all in the site. They finally pushed in Pillbox. We got the, I believe, Glass, yes, down on the floor. Sweater will get a kill. They see someone in Sandwich, but he's able to peek out and throw smokes left and right, and somehow, through gunfire, will peek out and get nipped. Neptunes from below will get the C4, but not before the diffuser gets planted. Neptunes will get a headshot onto Twix. Sweater will get 1. T-Tox will get 1, but not before being downed. It is all left to this Twitch and this Jaeger. The Jaeger planted in CCTV. I'm not sure if Twitch knows that. She's watching the door like she does. Neptunes will run out, get detected. He'll get pad the stats a little bit by getting the down guy. He'll then push for the diffuser, depending on how Twitch decides to approach it. She's backing up. That's not good. He's diffusing, buddy, but he will turn the corner. Detox will get the win, and that is exactly what Devious needed to do. They actually tie it up now. 3-3 here on border, and still a lot of game left to play.
Detox missed those first few shots, and it was getting a little close there.
It was getting hairy.
He was holding that. He was not going to let go, but since the very beginning of both of our maps, the game is once again tied. This is the best situation that Devious has been in all evening, barring the 0-0 start. This is going to be a hard-fought battle to bring it back, but they do look a lot stronger. The A-wall take was successful. The flank by Neptunes on the Jaeger. They've gone for a role swap now, putting Geo on the Jaeger and getting rid of the Vigil in the game plan, and also bringing out a Bandit, which was missing from the lineup last time. And also on attack, same operators coming out for Devious as they'll be attacking an identical site. Just a slightly different setup. They do have the Thatcher on the board, so I'm not sure if Hopes is going to attempt the Bandit trick. That could be a little dangerous, having that Glass being able to see through smokes, which has been a common tactic lately for disabling that Bandit trick on the Armory walls, to drop a smoke grenade at the A door and push him with a Glass prone, and be able to see through the smoke, see that highlighted yellow Bandit, and remove him while he can't see you, and then proceed to open up the wall. They also have a Twitch on the board in Detox, who was pretty successful. You saw that Twitch drone all the way in on the diffuser last round as it was planted, so he was doing a good job of keeping his Twitch drone hidden, even without the pay-to-win skin, which is also admirable. But now Vandal going to be launching out some Valkyrie cams, common one out on the lamppost to overlook AC. I'm not sure if that's going to get spotted too quickly, but they will see the prep window from the outside, which could be a pretty strong indicator it's going to be planted on that wall.
Yeah, I don't think they spotted it last time, just because they didn't circle around to that side. They kind of stacked up on Pillbox there and made their push. They didn't really work on the exterior of that wall much. But here we go. Looks like some CCTV and Pillbox approaches being made. Glaz holding a nice little punch hole. See if he finds anybody. And I'm not sure. I know Glaz was there popping shots at the person that was in Sandwich, the smoke, the last round. I'm not sure how much success they found with the Glaz, but maybe just knowing that Glaz Overwatch is there might be enough to give the attackers more confidence to push in and try the plant. A little bit of some roaming going on. Valk downstairs in the server area, and the Pillbox wall will begin to get open and will get breached, and now some drones will come out. Still 2 minutes left to work with for the attackers, and oh no, Neptune spots one. It's completely still. That is a destructible floor. Instead of throwing the nitro, he'll throw some shots up, but right over the crouching head of that thermite and not connect any of those bullets at all. Oh, and a shot down through the floor by Sweater, right through the hole. I think that the pulse opened up, and that will be Neptune's off the board. Sweater was just watching that angle down through the floor, and unfortunate for Neptune's, as he was the one that opened it.
Twix going to be rushing into Workshop Full shift W inside, and Vandal's going to gun him down easily. Last time around, the Nitro from Hopes, who was on the Pulse last time, missed the diffuser planter by about 2 feet and took down another attacker. So not having that pulse down below to check and see who's planning, and Nitro again is going to be dangerous. Hopes as well is going to drop J. That's the Thatcher off the board. Wild Spray's coming in. Is prone glass of Nip inside. Geo's going to drop Nip, though. Sweater's going to trade it out onto Geo from outside the wall, but regaining his position was Hopes as he had run across for just a second. He backs off, and a wonderful shot all the way outside. Detox will fall, and reciprocating with another nice shot is Sweater. It's on a roll, has diffuser, drops the plant for half a second. Vandal is downstairs. I didn't catch if he still has the Nitro in hand or not, but 27 seconds. He does have the Nitro. I'm not sure if they have the Valcam in sight or not. 23 seconds, and Vandal's prepping the Nitro for a B plant, but Sweater's already planted A. The call came out wrong. Now Vandal's going to have to rotate up metal stairs. Fuse timer ticking down. Sweater's going to evacuate outside the breach hole. The window isn't opened up. It's actually a detriment to Vandal. He can't get the information as he turns the corner. Looks like Sweater is anticipating this rush. Not sure if there's a drone on or not, but Vandal having a significant health advantage. The MPX at range not going to do much, but Sweater down to about 30. And again, Vandal checking for the B plan. Not sure if it's an improper call or just doing his due diligence, but nonetheless, he will finally spot the diffuser planted inside of the back of A, right beside lockers. And Sweater playing it patiently, making the smart move. Vandal's going to bait once. He's going to take the shots. Reactionary shots on both sides, but Sweater is going to clutch it out, and Devious have their first lead of the evening.
A great turnaround. Sweater is playing really top-notch Siege right now, and this is the second time that he has single-handedly brought his team to a round victory. They did a great job of getting in. The Glaz absolutely potatoed and missed all of his shots, allowing for his teammate to die and then him to die shortly after. And for them to come back and make something happen after that was very impressive. Sweater even starting it off by shooting that pulse back down through the hole he made himself. I was very enthused by that, in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, Devious doing exactly what they need to do. They're finding a lot of success on attack. They weren't on defense, but they are so far on attack, winning 2 consecutive here on Border.
All starts with one. That's all it takes. You get one, you start getting on a roll, and I mean, you come away only down a round, like I said, after the first 5, the first half of the game. Looking good, and I mean, they have responded with back-to-back rounds in attack, not losing on attack yet, and especially proficient with this A-wall take. You know, it's not something that we see primarily, but usually it's the Mira and being able to breach open that soft wall. Looking into CC from the armory side, having that mirror set up is a huge detriment to pushing in, or being able to have the mirror in the small office. Either one are massive detriments for the A-wall take, and it looks like Devious are trying to play this a little more old school, where the A-wall take was a little more typical before mirror was introduced.
Yeah, so we're seeing Nip trade off of the Glaz, a very smart move. His teammate picking it up, and Nip instead bringing the Monty to see if he could just, you know, he's been pretty much a meat shield so far. Might as well bring a bulletproof shield. And now I know, I'm sorry. Toxic. I know, I'm sorry. But anyways, Glaz will work the same broken wall upstairs that they have been punished from previously. But most of Carnage and Chaos already in position, all on cameras gathering intel. And I like this. They know that the attack push isn't storming into the building, so they will get as much information. And Detox picking the Glaz, paying off already. So he will get kill number 1 on the Neptunes.
It's the pulse removed early again from downstairs. Neptune's having a hard time in the roam game. I imagine Vandal is still downstairs as well, as he was the roaming duo with the nitros from below, pressing up against the armory door. Doesn't want to unshield to bust it. It's going to cause a bit of a distraction here for Hopes and Geo, who had both stacked up. And that's another role swap there. Super taking over the Jaeger, and Geo heading to smoke this time, as I guess Geo's a little done with the roam game, wants to anchor a little bit harder.
Yeah, kind of a safe position to be in offices, but there is an attacker that I'm not sure if he is in the offices yet or he is very close by. No, yeah, multiple attackers are in the offices, so they are switching it up. The Monty is kind of a decoy on the other side. Thankfully, the defenders didn't rotate all of their men over there and give the B site away to the attackers, but the Thatcher, the Thermite, and the Lion are now securely in offices, and the wall is going to get opened up. A couple of defenders will rotate. One will rotate to the other side of the metal bookshelf. Very aggressive peek by Sweater there. But why not? He's been having a lot of success. Vandal will just hold an angle on the other side of bookshelf. And unfortunately, no drones coming in from the attackers. Super will kill Detox. That's the glass down. Evening out the numbers. 45 seconds to work with. Still 2 smokes in hand for Twix. I'm sorry, for Geo. And a little bit of a stall out now from the attackers.
Defuser is in sight with Jay as the Lion. He's already used both his EODs thus far. He's going to start sticking the plant now with 30 seconds on the board. Vandal's going to take an aggressive peek onto the balcony as Sweater pushes up, and Nip has come to join. The plant gets down. A great reaction shot by Vandal. Super grabs 2. It's all up to Nip. He knifes Geo, and Super will run him over, and we will have a tie game 4-4 as a wonderful retake. As soon as the Defuser goes down, everyone on CNC charge into Archives. Get the retake, get the defuse. Wonderful shot by Vandal there on the Sweater.
Yeah, this is kind of a CSGO tactic where, you know, nobody pushes through the smoke, but it carries over to Siege. You know, usually people kind of stay, watch the smoke, maybe pop some bullets through the smoke. Well, when that smoke went down, 3 of the defenders charged right through it. The attackers had no idea what hit them, and 3 of the attackers got eliminated within a matter of seconds from each other.
Gotta give credit where credit's due. Super currently top of the board on CNC, and honestly, that's no surprise. We've seen fragging potential from him before, barring the whole I'm gonna miss every single bullet onto the bandit. Barring that, Super's had a good game, so I'm impressed to see him stepping up after he was I guess how you put it, a human meat shield on Oregon. It wasn't that he was doing bad.
Toxic.
He just didn't have to do anything. The rest of his team was going off, and it was a 6-0. Now we're 8 rounds deep. We're all tied up. 2 rounds here left in regulation. And if CNC want to take this a perfect 2-0 as far as maps go, we're going to have to close this out with both rounds, or we are heading to either overtime or a 3rd map.
Only time will tell at this point. There's still a lot of Siege potentially left to be played. Remember, it is unlimited overtime, and it's just if it goes a 1-1 instead of a 2-0 on either side, then we will definitely see overtime, in which case you have to win by 2, so that will automatically extend it by 2 at the very least. Or if Devious happen to win 2 in a row, then we will go on over to map number 3, which will be Coastline. Either way, Devious playing a lot better, which is undeniable, of course, this round than they did last round. A lot of people, speaking of a lot of people on that west balcony. Right out, I'm not sure if there was a camera being thrown or what. No, it was Pulse jumping out, trying to get somebody. He will rotate back into Fountain as a couple of bullets come through the soft wall and whiz by his head. Here's the Glaz opening up that wall, too. Monty is pushing forward towards the spotted defenders. Pulse at this point, though, has rotated all the way back to Armory Office.
The Ash of Twix coming up metal stairs as well. Sorry, no, that was the castle of Geo. I thought it was his teammate. He wasn't even looking in Nip's direction. I thought it was a friendly. Instead, Geo's gonna back off. Neptune's with his Pulse as well. Had a hard time on that roam game once again. Those drones coming out in full force from Devious. Gotta give him credit for the roam game they've pulled, or sorry, the droning game they've pulled off so far. The roam clear has been good when it's been necessary. And Neptune's now going to be backing off and trying to play a little more guarded, trying to play a little more safe, stay alive a little bit longer as well with that cardiac sensor and that nitro. Now he'll take an aggressive peek, head level onto Nip, but he is that Montaigne. And there's no one in behind those punch holes, but 3 attackers have now all stacked outside of the main wall, but it will be Sad Boy Nip on the Montaigne, dropping Neptune's. Vandal's going to trade 1 before his own frag grenade comes in and does the work for him. Clears out Vandal, and now it's a 3v4 CNC. All 3 defenders on site awaiting this rush. 70 seconds on the board as the roof above them gets torn open.
A nice little from the grave grenade kill to even it back out. The attackers up 1 man at this point. Time ticking away. It seems by the time they've cleared the rummers out every time, over half the round is gone. But Devious still able to find a little bit of success. So now they are working the hatches. A hatch is getting opened up and some sight lines are getting open. The shield has moved his way downstairs. Smoke will call that to his teammates. And the progression from the first floor now will come by the attackers. Ash just barely not getting spotted. Will think about grenading open that wall, but will instead to rotate elsewhere. Smoke still holding this tight angle. The attackers do not know that there's anybody in customs inspections. He'll go down and get the Habana, but he is the only one left now as Sweater and Nip get 2 kills on site. They know the approximate area, but they will not go after him. Instead, they will get the diffuser down and an easy cleanup for Twix. And now we've got Devious not only making a comeback after a 6-0, but now it's them who are on match point of map number 2.
Wow. Wow is all I really have to say. Sweater playing out of his mind right now, trying to carry the rest of Devious in, and I don't actually think he's a roster player for Devious. I think he was a sub in. He might be a roster player, but I just haven't heard
I think he
that
is
confirmed yet, but you never know. Nonetheless, good addition if he is a roster player. Wonderful substitution if you just picked him up off the street for a replacement. Sweater going to the Blackbeard, sitting on Thermite like every attack round, and now to possibly close this thing out or send us to overtime, he goes for a new operator.
Well, here's the thing.
Interesting decision. Here's
the thing about Blackbeard, right? He's got a shield in front of his face. I don't know if you folks out there knew that, but yeah, he's got a shield in front of his face. And so, because of that, because of the way that he has been playing, right? If he has the ability to not die because of a bullet or two, and instead exchange that kill and move on to engage again, where, again, the way he's been playing is more likely than not, why not give him that one extra opportunity, right? That 1 or 2 bullets extra that otherwise would have stopped him in his tracks, because he's not playing a super aggressive Ash, jump into sight in 10 seconds, 2 drones at his feet, you know, sprinting down the hallway. That's not the game that Sweater's playing. He's often the last alive. He's been playing the Frenchman anchor on defense, and he's just taking his time, checking his corners, working with the intel that his teammates are giving him. And Blackbeard is the perfect operator to play in that manner.
100%. Honestly, he has been playing a slower game. I'll be interested to see how he does with the DMR versus the 5.56 on Thermite. Honestly, the new recoil pattern on Thermite is very, very friendly. So it's no surprise that he's been doing well, but he's been doing well in roles that you wouldn't see someone typically getting 15 kills, playing that anchor on site and then playing a breach role. Not your typical, I'm going to go and frag out of my mind, carry the team, but he's been doing it nonetheless. So, I mean, putting him in just a different, slower role that's also supposed to get some frags can't really hurt all that much.
Yeah, so now Bandits are on the other side of the defensive hold, and so the wall will get opened up without any problems. No bandit tricking going on, and I think that if they would have attempted to bandit trick, they might have found a little bit of success, but still, Bandit being tucked in the office. They have been switching it up on attack, so it is kind of hard to predict at this point exactly where it is they're coming from. Either way, that pillbox wall will get opened up in the first minute, and now they're just going to watch, wait, see if they can find somebody to pick easily, and Geo on that really hard, wait, through the wall on the pre-fire will dome J, and the diffuser will go down. I'm not sure if they even know that. Vandal will get a C4 kill through the smoke, and 2 blind kills will stop the Devious push in its tracks.
It's diffuser lost on sight and through the toxic smoke, shrouding the entryway into the objective. Checking cams again is Vandal. He launched out his Nitro and picked up a frag onto, I believe it was Detox, the Glaz. Spray's coming out from Super, just trying to repress Nip from getting into sight, but he's able to. Neptune's, though, with that Nitro, able to drop Twix. It's now a 2v5. It's up to Sweater and Nip, as Nip backs all the way into half wall with the diffuser. Going to try an ADS with that P9. Not landing the crucial shots, but he's going to immediately Geo. Enemy outside will get detected. Sweater will drop him. Vandal will trade it right back out. And now it's the shield alone. Tucked away in sight. The enemy is detected outside. Spray's coming in at the feet. He'll have to fully deploy the shield. There's nowhere to go here for Nip. It's all over. Super will drop him. Overtime we go on border.
I would have never expected for us to be in overtime after a 6-0, but here we are. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how fast things can change. And Flint, not once so far this season, even though we're only on Playday number 2, have we been devoid of a darn good game now, have we?
Yeah, this has actually been a wonderful map. You take Oregon out of the equation, and this is fantastic and lines up with both our matches on Wednesday. This has been wonderful competition and much better than I thought we were going to see after the demonstration we saw in Oregon earlier this evening between the two teams. I mean, this has been a hard-fought game, and even after the first 3 rounds, we saw CNC still dominating. They won 9 straight rounds overall, and finally Devious woke up. They figured out what they needed to do. They read what CNC were doing. They made changes. They looked alive. They got a little more aggressive. They made some swap outs on attack as well. While Nip hasn't been doing a whole lot of damage frag-wise, I think he's got maybe 3 frags through 5 attacking rounds on the Montaigne, which is actually, now that I say it, it's pretty good for a Montaigne. He's also been a wonderful distraction. And that's the thing. He's drawing the attention of everyone on CNC away from what's happening. We saw it in the first attack round they won, which was the office push while Nip was just standing in the armory doorway, just being a shield. And then now we've seen it there as well. He was the shield, walked straight into sight, drew the ire of all the defenders playing in sight. Unfortunately, none of the other attackers out there were able to do much as they got lambasted by some nitros and sweater. Dropping Geo with a wonderful run out onto the balcony. And if you're going to pick anyone to drop with that, excellent pick, as Geo has been dominating so far through both the maps.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed from pros is if there's one thing that pros are used to, they know that in Pro League, you have a 5-second time window once the attackers drop in where the defenders cannot engage them, either on a run out, through a window, nothing. In CCS, the only rule is you cannot hit an attacker that is spawned in and has not moved, right? The developers of the game have done a great job in eliminating any spots where you can really, from a window, pick somebody off as they kind of materialize into the game. And so pretty much, I can't even think of a single example where, it's really a banned peek or run out here at CCS. So Sweater probably catching them off guard again because they're just not used to that rule. And that's exactly how they needed to approach this as we get underway into overtime. Devious fighting for their match lives.
The Bandits are going to be coming out by Detox through the concussion mines of Super. And now even more coming out, another EMP dropping as Hopes loses the first thermite charge. Might have actually been the second. They're all backing off and trying to go for a reset of position. Shots coming down. The frag grenade landing at the feet of Detox, but not killing him somehow. It explodes right below him, but Twix will be the one to take down Neptune's the one launching the frag grenade. Sweater grabs another onto Vandal, and now it's a 2v5. Devious on a steamroll right now. Just missing the rotation of Hopes with Sweater inside a small office, but he gets Super in the process as he comes around the corner outside. It's all up to Hopes now in a 1v5 out of nowhere. Punch hole coming in the wall. I believe that was from Twix on the rotation. Just making some punch holes into the CCTV wall. Sprays it down. It was Nip, sorry, and he will fall. Hope's grabbing 1, but not a lot of hope, honestly. 1v4, 48 seconds left from the board. Still has breach, but not a lot of potential. At least he has the diffuser and can make rotations freely. All 4 defenders stacked on site, awaiting his approach. Just catches Sweater playing him behind the metal grating of metal detectors. Can't land the shots to finish him off, though. And now the peak coming again will down him, unable to secure the kill. He still has 3 others to worry about as well, as he's going to be dropping down a thermite charge on the Archives wall. Twix hears that, is going to go for the rush fountain. Held up, just gave it the sound cue to back off Hopes and gave him a second of worries. There's only 15 on the board. Time is not Hope's friend now. Just seeing the head of Jay, but Jay with a great peek up over the metal half wall. Hopes falls, and Hope bleeding from CNC of getting the 2-0. They're 1 round away from us heading to Coastline.
An honorable effort in that 1v4 by Hopes. You got 1 off the board, 1 down. A lot of patience, a lot of good utilization of his time, but a 1v4 so difficult to get out of.
19 frags,
yeah.
Jesus.
And 11 rounds, which would be a, current meta maximum overtime game, 11 rounds, 19 kills is one heck of a finish. 19 at 7. Man, are they glad they picked up that guy. Devious. Now, match point number 2. Carnage and Chaos looking to tie and bring it 2 more rounds deeper here on the second map and close this matchup out. But we will wait and see if Devious, after a nearly flawless round, can kind of ride that train and bring it to a map number 3, which, let's be honest, we never, ever would have expected after the way Oregon went.
No, not at all. The way Oregon went, I thought it was going to be a 12-0. We're going to get out of here nice and early. Instead, I'm having PTSD flashbacks.
Not to be quote unquote toxic or anything, but I asked my producers, I was like, hey, can we pull some stats on if there's ever been a 12-0 when we were at 6-0 and then 2-0 here on Border? But we're gonna have plenty of time to look up that stat because we're not gonna have to bring it up this match.
Nope, we're going deep, and it's the perfect storm again. It's Border, it's CCS rules, and it's no Mira, and it's two now seemingly very evenly matched teams. I'll still give the edge in skill to CNC, but Devious have now picked it up, and they look a lot better than they did on Oregon and in the first 3 rounds of Border, that's for sure. And it seems like attack is where they like to live. On defense, they have to try and get both of these rounds. They've already got 1 on defense, and they're looking very good to possibly close this thing out right now and send us to Coastline.
Yeah, so real quick before we get too deep into this round, we did do a poll on Twitter. If you're not following us at CCS eSports, please do so you can participate in them every Playday, plus get news and updates on when we go live, etc. And Devious eSports won the vote, 53%, 47 for Carnage and Chaos. This map is very, very indicative of that vote. Map number 1, not so much. Grenade number 1 will go in by Vandal. I'm going to chuck another one in just for good measure. Obviously, no points if you were to down somebody. They know that there is a Vigil nearby. Obviously, they do not know where. Now with the Vigil kind of nerf coming in, it's a little bit easier to wait out that time. Jay will turn around and throw a smoke at the last possible moment after that wall gets opened up. Lots of bullets get sent through the wall. Thermite will lose a little bit of health, as will Nip on the castle. And a lot of control right outside the bathroom for the attackers. A couple of attackers still upstairs trying to pinch on this armory lockers.
Yeah, the Archives push taking a little bit longer than CNC would like, so they're trying to clear this out. It's still 5v5 with only a minute left in the round now. Slow Peak's coming out. The frag grenade gonna land and drop Detox as it also takes out the ADS in the process. Not sure what happened there, but a peek by Twix will provide no avail as he'll be dropped by Super on an Ash roll this time. He's going to be ripping out the floor once again. 3 defenders on site. Sweater's taking a lot of damage, down to about 5 HP. More frag grenades coming down the holes in the floor to destroy the barbed wire, clear the pathway into sight. 38 seconds now, and the attack is surely going to be pressing into the objective. Geo just standing outside of metal stairs. And now the drop, the peek by Smoke, and that's Jay dropping Geo. A wonderful peek around the corner. More pre-fire setting out to the forge. The front door. Sweater's going to go for a run and takes down Super. Levels up man count, 3v3. The site has still not been breached yet by the attackers. Jay's going to drop Hopes, and now it's a 2v3. Devious in a wonderful position to close this out. Diffuser has been lost in the main hallway. 10 seconds ticking down. No control of the diffuser. Neptune's grabs Sweater, but Jay will trade it right back. It's all up to Vandal, rushing into the back of site with no diffuser in hand. Doesn't spot Nip. We're going to map 3.
What a fantastic comeback by Devious. What a fantastic map after losing 6-0. It's not often that we see a comeback like that. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to map number 3, Oregon. Or no, we already played Oregon. Coastline will be our map. We're going to take a very short break just for the purposes of giving our players a quick bio break. And we will be back for you momentarily, so stick around for game number 3 and the epic conclusion of Carnage and Chaos versus Devious eSports. Stick around, and we will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us through that little short break while we get the operators banned for map number 3. The sides determined. Coin flips need to be had. And so it goes. My name is Tight Angles. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here, CCS Season 3. This is matchup number 1. Right afterwards, we will have matchup number 2, which will be eSports taking on the Nomads. Nomads returning after a Cinderella season number 1. And so I'm not sure where we're at as far as the setup. Flynn, you could tell me. Oh, I think we're waiting on a player. As actually Carnage and Chaos, it looks like, might have to make a substitution. We're just getting information in right now, so we will tell you. Yes, Vertical will need to be subbed in for Neptunes because Neptunes is running out of time. I guess has a prior engagement or something along the sort. I am joined today by Flynn. Flynn,
Hey, bud.
what do you think of these games so far? I mean, 6-0 to start it off, and then Devious, who just came off of a 6-0, comes back, wins map number 2 in overtime, 7-5. Yeah, 7-5.
Crazy border game, I'll say that much. Oregon, I thought I saw CNC really. They were on a roll, and to be expected, being the team they are. Nothing really fell apart as far as border goes. It was more that Devious just elevated themselves to CNC's level. That was really the change. That was the sudden factor that Devious had woken up. Sweater became completely unleashed, and that was honestly that was a map I never expected to see be so close between the two teams based on what we saw. And heading to Coastline, I still got to give the edge to CNC, seeing how they played Oregon, knowing that Coastline's a little more back of the mind map. It's not a primary map that most teams will run 24/7. You're usually seeing like the border Oregon Chalet rotation go through there as your top 3. I still got to give the edge to CNC, but Devious actually looked like they were playing a lot better. They looked like an entirely new team compared to map number 1. If Sweater gets shut down, though, that is an entirely different story.
Yeah, so we got Vertical in the game now. We're going to get underway any second. I want to say an interesting tidbit as we were watching the bans take place, which you'll see on your screen here once we get started, and we were watching the sides be picked. Devious won the coin flip and chose to be on defense. They lost 5 consecutive rounds of defense on Oregon on map number 1, and then they lost their first 2 rounds of defense, being forced into defense by Carnage and Chaos on map number 2, but they have seemed to come into their own. They won the last 2 defenses they did, which happened to be the 2 that gave them the W in overtime on border. So now they've come full circle, and they feel a little bit comfortable on defense now. So we're going to get started. I think the teams are readied up. We're going to get started as soon as our observer hits go, and we will get started on Coastline, map number 3 in this best of 3 series.
So, like you said, the sub-out Vert going to be coming in for Neptunes. One pro player for another. I mean, maybe Vertical frags a little bit more as Neptunes is playing that breach role typically on mouse versus Vert having the freedom to really do whatever he wants. I don't think it really impacts anything too much in the grand scheme of things. But hey, Vert's here. Hi, Vert. How you doing?
Welcome. I hope you're warmed up. Tachanka, the little troll coming out. We'll see what ends up happening. Nice try, buddy. We've been there before. And the Capkin, too, which actually we see Capkin on this map quite a bit. And, you know, and last second, actually, to Frost. So we saw a myriad of potential coming out from Nip. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about this map because I know we saw this in Playday number 1. We saw this map come out, and you talked about how, you know, with all the viable bomb sites here, look, we're starting out in Kitchen on round number 1 defense. With all of the viable bomb, and not only that, but they're reinforcing the entirety of the South Walls, one that we usually see get quite opened up when we see teams play on Kitchen. Either way, we've been seeing this map more and more and more and competitive. Sure, we see it, in Pro League, whatever, from time to time, and it's mixed in with the other maps. But here at CCS, a tier, 2 tiers, 2.5 tiers, whatever you want to call it, down from something like that, we're beginning to see Coastline a lot more. And just like you said, the Oregon border chalet that we saw a lot of the last couple of seasons in CCS, chalet has kind of been replaced with Coastline, at least what we saw through this season's qualifiers and in the 2 play days that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think Coastline plays very well to either team. And like I've talked about before, Coast is a map where you decide if you're going to win or lose, basically. You can play standards and defaults and get run over, or you can play an aggressive roam game and have a better chance at winning. I mean, Coastline is a map that plays very handedly to the roam game, but it also doesn't favor one side or the other, attack or defense. It really is what you make of it. The drone spotting twixt there, shrouded in some computer parts lying down in the CCTV hallway. That's the other thing I want to touch on, that wall, the quad wall being reinforced facing courtyard. That's an odd wall to fully reinforce. Usually you rip that open with a shotgun to at least give yourself some visibility into sight for a retake.
Yeah, absolutely. So Detox will get kill number 1 on a super. That is the Echo getting the kill. And yeah, the Jaeger trying to shroud himself in a fort of GPUs. It's droned out. Not sure if he saw it, but he is going to kind of stay in said area. Vigil kind of hanging out upstairs. A lot of the attack coming upstairs. The other half of the attack going downstairs on the office side. Not much entry on the first floor, but definitely entry up above. And Snip will be holding a tight angle down the hallway. Will get vertical the second his head turns the corner. And now only 3 attackers remain. Only 1 upstairs as the quick peeks come out. Gio will get kill 1 for his team on the backside of Nip. Nip still watching down that long hallway. Vigil is now aware of his presence, but Gio will turn around and walk back the other way. Only a minute left to go. A lot of time being wasted. Gio will get caught out by the Vigil in VIP and get eliminated. Only 2 attackers remain. The Thermite and the Thatcher. They will band together to try to push in this west kitchen door. A little bit of a check on Cool Vibe stairs, but time ticking away. They're going to have to make a move quick. Some smokes, some yokai drone shots will come down on their heads, and everybody aware of where exactly they are. The defenders now stacked in sight, ready for them. Vandal will find 1, 2v3 now, only 22 seconds so to work with. Here comes the last smoke grenade. And he will get eliminated himself. Sorry about the game audio, folks. I do that from time to time. Should be back now. Tooks will get that kill. Only 1 left. Thermite will open that wall. Try to get a distraction. Only enough time really left to pad his stats if he can. He'll try and look around, find 1. And he will get taken down by Jay in the closing seconds of this round. And Devious feeling strong on defense. Picking defense even after the terrible start they had. Will get the win and a brutal hip fire last kill. Will secure them round number 1 in kitchen.
Yeah, that roam clear was pretty abysmal and not something we've seen very often from the CNC. They've been very proficient on their roam clear. We saw it a lot on Oregon. And I mean, jeez, like even on Border, I mean, their roam clear was part of what got them into a rhythm in the beginning of Border, and it didn't suffer. They just didn't catch on to the changes that were being made. But this time around, Sweater on the Vigil, I guess, giving them some problems being unable to be located. I thought maybe Gio with the IQ was going to be able to find him with the sensor, but instead, it takes a lot of time. You only amount 1 frag and lose 2 operators on your own because of it, and it seemed like there was a missing piece to the droning that entire round. You saw multiple times, you saw Hopes multiple times checking multiple locations that had already been cleared by another teammate. He was checking Blue Bar as his Thatcher was walking straight through the door. He was checking the Cool Vibe stairs multiple times, and it seemingly came out of comms that there was someone upstairs. He's worried about a flank. He's worried about someone coming from an angle that there is no one there. Everyone is on site. So there's a missing part of the drone game that round for CNC, and they need to clean that up if they're going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you completely, and that's why they died to somebody just laying down, holding an angle right off the bat. You said it very well. So they will opt to, even though they're off the kitchen site, they will opt to defend it heavily. The attackers, aware of their presence, will try to get a little cheeky peek in through the drone hole while Geo takes out the kitchen window. Drones abound inside the kitchen. Some claymores will go down, and it looks like a strong push incoming into this little backside delivery room to try and end the threat that is below the site currently, including some possible C4 potential.
Sweater again on this Vigil roam game, doing a good job of wasting a lot of time, stalling out the CNC roam clear. Looks like they're going to ignore it completely. They're going to give up on this mission, head up to the VIP balcony, allow Sweater and Detox to stay still, only sending Vert in alone with the reflexed R4. And now the pinch coming from Geo as well from the service door. It's 2-on-2. They're trying to flank from both sides. The pre-fires come out, but Vertical will get the first kill onto Detox. And he's just about half a meter away from Sweater as well. The flashbangs come in. Sweater is going to rush up, and Geo will shut him down as Vertical had fallen off the angle for Geo's cover. Now a much better job on the roam clear, taking a little bit longer than I imagined they would have liked. But nonetheless, doing the job without losing any attackers, and now they can start aggressing onto site. They still have to worry about the bandit charges, which Geo is getting rid of right now on the VIP wall with the pistol and electronic sensor in hand. More drones coming out to spot Jay against this breach wall. As again, Mira being panned out for the third consecutive map. No opportunity to put it on the theater walls facing into Penthouse. Now, more barbed wire getting cleared out by the Zofia of super smoke grenades in reciprocation into VIP. Going to stall out this push. They are only able to open up the left side of the VIP wall, unable to open up the right side, which is typically your most safe. Twix with a wonderful shot will drop Vandal. Now only at a one-man disadvantage. Still have plenty of time on the clock to go for this plan.
A lot of destruction coming out from underneath from the Ash will distract them long enough for the Thermite to get in and begin planting. I'm not sure if they're aware of his presence. No, the diffuser will go down. He will retreat with his teammate back into VIP. And now it's on the defenders, the three remaining, to try and do a retake. And the 180 by Vertical will shut down Twitch on that flank. What a disgusting turnaround. Super will get Jay. And it is only Nip left with that dock. He's going to take the time to heal it up before he decides to push it again. He saw more of the attackers there. Some flashbangs will go in, not getting him. He'll turn away from the last one. He sees one on window, will take a couple of bullets. All the attackers aiming right at that hole in VIP. Hopes will be the one to end it all for Nip. And now we are tied 1-1 here in the first two rounds on Coastline.
Twix falling asleep at the wheel coming down those L stairs. Just looking at Vertical for a good couple seconds there, not registering that, hey, I need to shoot this guy. And Vertical, like you said, a wonderful turn, a wonderful shot, and a much better roam clear this time from CNC. You get the drones in place, you get the proper droning onto Sweater, especially with that Vigil nerf. The ERC isn't active for 30 seconds anymore. It's 12. So it's a lot shorter time to deal with on those drones. You can really start to pin down that Vigil roam. And I guess they just hiccuped on a little bit. They went into round number 1 on their roam clear, a little soft, not expecting what they ran into. This time around, they were fully prepared, and they aggressed perfectly onto site, get the perfect post plant. Like there was nothing wrong with that round for CNC. And on the other hand, for Devious, I mean, the only thing you can really ask for there is a little more time killed in the roam game and maybe bring a couple with you.
Absolutely. And for those of you just joining us, trying to tune into Oof versus Nomads, we are in map number 3 of our first game, and that will happen immediately afterwards on this channel. So stick around, come back, and make sure you're following us at CCS eSports on Twitter. We'll tweet out when it's time for that game. Thank you, everybody, for being here. CCS Season 3. We know, like I said before, there's a lot of competitive action going on all across the board tonight. So for those of you joining us tonight, we appreciate it. But here we go. We're getting started in round number 3. We're going back down to kitchen, if I'm not mistaken, for these defenders.
Yep, back down to kitchen and service, and looks like these are going to be the 2 primaries for Devious. An interesting decision is that we've usually seen either a team use the 2 primaries of Penthouse and Theater and Blue Bar Sunrise, or exclusively stay downstairs. We haven't seen anyone kind of operate with these 2 bomb sites together as their primaries, but like I said at the top of the broadcast, Coastline, a map that can be played all 4 sites properly. Roam game coming out from Twix with Nip in the main lobby this time. Instead of going upstairs, I think Sweater was droned out topside inside of Penthouse earlier. He's going to have to go for a rotation around. Super's already made his way in behind the bar in Sunrise. So this attack once again becoming west-east. Sweater got a little bit of company here inside of the bathroom, but it'll be Nip shutting down Vandal all the way from Theater, sorry. There's a draw blank on the name of the location. Host going to be dropping a drone down as well to come in support of Geo, is trying to clear out. And once again, this roam game on the kitchen defense, stalling out the attack.
Yep, so very early, a very necessary peak. No vertical play can be brought out anymore. Well, they do have the sledge, but not as effective, really. You can't open it up with the speed that a Buck can. Gio will drop that hatch. He knows there is somebody in the theater room. He will send some bullets through the wall in an attempt to try and flush him out or make a move and a quick peek from the corner. Vertical will take out Nip. And a great job by the Ash to back up his teammates and help clear the top floor. Meanwhile, on the other side, Gio will get a kill. And so only 3 defenders, 2 of them at about half health, will remain. A minute left for these attackers to make a move. Twitch will hold an angle, Twix rather, will hold an angle on this hatch. A lot of peeking up through the ceiling, leaving a little bit of room for an attacker to kind of rush in through the first floor. A lot of holes getting opened up in this penthouse as the sledge will decide to drone it out, gather as much intel before the final push. Attackers now rotating down to the first floor to try and make something happen, going into kitchen. Still a 4v3, so a lot that can be done on the side of the attackers. They will leave one. Gio will stay upstairs and see if he can peek down. He sees one and removes his head quite swiftly. So bullets will go back and forth. Detox will kill the thermite at the window. Vertical will hop in and get the refrag right away. Only one left, not even seeing Super. Easy kill by the Zofia. It'll be 2 consecutive rounds now for Carnage and Chaos. They don't want to let the follies of round 2 take away their brutal round 1 victory and end up losing them this series.
So the roam game, a lot better that time from Devious, honestly. You take one with you early, you stall it out for almost 2 whole minutes. You drop Sweater as well, who was playing inside of Hall of Fame, who had the opportunity to start aggressing onto Geo in the bathroom and possibly save Nip. Instead, he played it safe and waited and tried to bait everyone into Hall of Fame with a false sense of security that he had already come off his angle and rotated elsewhere. He played the long game and came up short, and Gio took him down with a great reaction as Sweater got a little preemptive with his shots. I heard it in the background. And a wonderful job on the roam clear late game, and then trade outs on site. You have that man advantage for a reason. CNC with a good clear, and kitchen service again for Devious as they do not want to go back upstairs. I mean, it's going to come down to the roam game and how effective it is. They've made a swap now, actually putting Sweater on Jaeger, giving Twix the Vigil, and Nip going to be staying on the castle as well. So I wonder if they'll opt to go for a 3-man roam and just leave Jay and Detox on site. But other than that, it's got to come down to the roam game. They did a wonderful job at killing the time and taking one with you, compared to the round before where they only killed about 90 seconds and didn't take anyone with them when they went down. It's getting better. It just needs to progress to that next step of dominating the round like we saw in round number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for those of you just joining us, I want to give a little bit of a recap of what we've seen so far. Round number 1 was Oregon and Carnage and Chaos. Say that again. Carnage and Chaos went 6 consecutive easy rounds, not even close rounds, to destroy poor old Devious. Devious on the next map, however, brought it back with tit for tat, and at the very end managed to get 2 in overtime, which is all you need to secure the map. And so now here we are on map number 3. Carnage and Chaos trying to not let their early success slip away. They've now won 2 straight and are beginning the attack yet again on to this Coastline map. Now, the last round that we saw, the attack kind of came in a little bit on the slow side. And, now a minute off the board, a lot of droning still going on, barely some windows and doors finally getting opened up by this attacking push. But Zofia is actually going to be already into Sunrise. She will open that door up and almost get her head taken off as she tried to destroy the shield. Her Little Grenade will get ADS. Vertical will get kill number 1 on Sweater. That is the Jaeger upstairs. Detox will go down as well. That's the Echo on site. So 1 Roamer and then 1 Anchor are now off the board. And just like that, in a span of 20, 30 seconds, it's a 5v3.
Super this time successful. Geo through the wall. The SMG-11 will drop Twix. Nip falls as well. It's all up to Jay on site in the 1v5. Still 80 seconds on the board. Sledge is coming out above. He tries to take down, hopes for at least one. Only drops him to 50 HP, missing that crucial headshot. And now CNC with that 2-prong approach attack. Up 3-1.
Yep, 3 consecutive for Carnage and Chaos. Each one looking a little bit better than the last. And that last one, they breezed through, not even losing 1 member of their squad. So a great job by them. And now it's Devious' turn to make something happen, to try and stop something. This will be their last attempt on defense to try and stop this onslaught, as it's beginning to look a little bit Oregon-esque as Carnage and Chaos start to pull away with the scoreline.
I just feel like Carnage and Chaos really have that droning history. They have the history of knowing how to keep their drones alive throughout the map, not losing them into sight for no reason, not suiciding them, using them as the utility that they are, and keeping them alive for as long as possible. They have spots that they want to always use, and they've done a wonderful job of ascertaining the positions of defenders and having someone in position to immediately make effect on that call. What we saw with Devious, I believe it was on the 1 round on Oregon that we saw them attack, and then again on Border for the first couple of their attacks. What we saw with them, they had a lot of drones in place. They did a wonderful job of locating defenders, but the nearest defender to that drone making the call was half a map away. With CNC, they play much tighter together. Their drones are much closer to the next person available to make that call. Sweater, again, with a spawn peak, is going to drop Vandal. But the drone game, it's a difference in skill, a difference of pattern and habit between the 2 teams so far.
Yeah, I like the spawn peaks by Sweater. And before chat tears my head off, let me just tell you, in a competitive, as Vertical removes the head of Detox, a competitive, you know, when it's done, it's not done every round, right? It's not like a toxic play. He's peeking every round, trying to get a pick. He's only done it twice, and both times have been successful. And when you find a tactic that has a 100% success rate, you can't knock them. You know what I mean? Sure, it might be a little cheesy. It might be a little unfair. Maybe they're not expecting it. Nobody spawn peaks in competitive, so they weren't. Whatever, you know, as long as it's a legal move, use whatever, you know, advantage you could possibly give yourself to make sure that you secure the round for your team. But a very quick trade back. Vertical taking out that Valk will bring it back. Vertical also taking out Sweater. He's been kind of underperforming this map after having a huge showing in Border. Now it's a 4v3. Vertical will get a third of the round. 4v2 now. It's Ash time, baby. He'll run in. Twix finally will shut him down and stop the onslaught that was Ash so far this round.
Super just a little bit late opening up the aquarium doors. He could have stopped Twix from getting that kill and let Vert go on his reign of terror, getting the first 3 picks. It's down to Twix and Nip. Nip had rotated through aquarium as well, as he was offside in the run game. He's filled in Jay's position inside hookah. And now Twix and Super going back and forth with the engagement, trying to launch into the concussion mines and behind the bar, where Twix was once stationed, but is now rotated back behind the A-bomb inside of Billiards. He's got company with him as well, hopes the thermite and diffuser holder. And now Gio's come over with the frag grenades in Sledge. He was cooking one, elected not to launch it, and holding a very tight angle in behind the bomb was Twix. Doesn't take any damage, but backs off. Holding the SMG-11, though, is Gio. It's all up to Nip in the middle of the hallway. Pressed right up against the doorway, taking the shots in towards the diffused planter. His hope was trying to get it down. He'll go for the replant once again. Nip sprang in behind, hookah wall, but Super will want to drop Nip. It is a 4-1, 4 consecutive rounds for CNC, and they're looking to close this thing out nice and quickly.
Yes, they are. They had enough clowning around on map number 2. I was beginning to get a little bit of worry that they were losing their edge. They went ahead and made a roster swap, which is legal, of course, in between maps 2 and 3, apparently, and we had just got word a little bit later on that Neptune's had been up for 24 hours. was about to pass out. So thankfully they were able to substitute in Vertical, and he has been doing work ever since he joined the band of Carnage and Chaos here in this last map. So 4 in a row, like you said, for Carnage and Chaos. And like I said last round, now it's beginning to look a little bit like Oregon as Carnage and Chaos begin to run away with it.
Yeah. CNC going to be heading to the defense now as it's Devious's first crack at attacking Coastline, and after their showing on defense, geez, Carnage and Chaos look very good. Vertical, obviously, the 8 frags. Like I talked about at the top of the top of this map. Yeah, he's going on a run, and he is that fragging role. He is that fragger on mouse compared to Neptunes, who wasn't doing a bad job. And for being up for 24 hours, he was doing pretty good. I think he was in the I think he was second with 9 frags in Oregon, if I remember correctly. But I'm sure someone will throw a screenshot at me on Twitter later. But Vertical is that fragger. He's that Ash main. He's that roamer. He brings a lot more, I guess, fragging potential and better reactions, I guess, not being up for 24 hours. So making that swap huge for CNC. When you have a roster that deep, you have the ability to. It's just the way she breaks, and Devious running into a wall against Vertical so far.
Yeah, so now they're going to rely back on a tactic that worked pretty well for them on Border, and that's bringing the Monty out. Of course, Glass is banned, and Monty losing 3/4 of his health already. Valk will lose about as much as well, as the aggressive ADS by the shield will result in a lot of damage being done, but no bodies being piled up, and Vandal getting reset through the wall here on the theater site. And this is, of course, Carnage and Chaos's first attempt at defense. It's been 5 rounds, so the roles will switch. A lot of beating on that castle door to try and get it open. 12 hits, and it will get open, and a run out by Supreme, or by Super underneath, will result in 2 kills. Actually, right out on the hookah balcony. Vertical will catch Nip as they're trying to recoup from what just happened. Some damage will go down onto the Twitch as well. She'll manage to turn around and get somebody on the aggressive run out. And now she's kind of tucked in a corner, scared for her life, only about 22 health, waiting for her teammate to give her some backup so they can try and make something out of this round that is so quickly falling apart.
No soft destruction on the board for them unless they wanted to use a thermite charge from the barricade. Vert is going to run out and grab another one. Detox falls. Jay trades it. He's in a 1v3 alone. I don't think he has a shield on the DMR currently. He's down to about 30 HP right outside the VIP window, trying to get a lucky spray on anyone getting too aggressive. No shield on, but apparently he does have one still. He's going to launch at a flashbang or 2 into Hall of Fame. Pull out that Deagle as you do run fast with the pistols in hand. He's going to go whack it away on the castle barricade to Hall of Fame again. That noise is going to give him away perfectly. Still no face shield on the SR-25. He wants that. It's actually a spectator glitch. He does have it. Spraying in, wildly trying to land the shots. Impact grenades coming out as well. Geo turns the corner, rips him apart. No health loss. Gives him the little shake at the end. Not a big shake, a little shake. CNC, match point, series point.
Well, you know, you shake it more than twice or something like that. But anyway, Here we go. On to match point. It is 5-1 for Carnage and Chaos, and they are running away now with Coastline, the deciding map in this best-of-3 series. Now, Devious are going to have to win 4 consecutive rounds without losing a single one if they want a shot at overtime and trying to take this map away from Carnage and Chaos. They have a lot of work to do and a mountain to climb in order to get there. It's possible, but Carnage and Chaos are probably feeling pretty comfortable right about now.
Yeah, this isn't this is looking a little more like Oregon than Border was. Border clearly being the map that Devious were favoring. No real surprise it is in that that top 3 of comp maps that you usually see. Yeah, I mean it's not insurmountable. It's not impossible. It's just a very tough task. Backs against the wall. They haven't found an answer for Vertical at all, especially when Super came in and joined on the Rome game. Looks like Super is going to play over by Penthouse in the theater as that Bandit. Vertical's going for the run out as well. Let's say to Sweater, anything you can do, I can do better. Spots with the drone up on the TV as well. Vertical just, he's having himself a night right now. He's feeling himself in this Coastline game, and I feel like he's going to be picking up a couple more frags in this round as well.
Yeah, his teammates are like, man, are we glad we subbed in that guy. Vertical doing so much work. He's feeling on top of the world, too, right now, doing the peaks, doing the Ash runs in. And why not? I mean, if it's working, it's working. So some intel gathering will be coming out from Devious. Devious, with every round they play, should they win this one, should they win the next one, or even the one after that, will continue to have to remain perfect, or else the map, and the match will be over.
Sweater had hopped in sight for just a moment. He gets smoked out in return, hops back out the window. As I believe there was a Valcam outside spotting them. They weren't aware yet. And now the one thing I want to see here is Sweater heat up for Devious. If there's going to be any response to Vertical, it's got to be Sweater heating up as well, as we saw on board those 20 frags. Monumental in securing the map victory in map number 2. And now Sweater's opted to carry the diffuser as the Ash. Again, an interesting decision, but why not if he's been the one having most effect? He's going to be ashing open into the blue bar from Sunrise. He has help with Detox laying down prone and behind as well. Waiting for this roam game to collapse upon him, now just spraying wildly up through the floor, as I believe it's Vertical inside of Hookah right above them, waiting to come down. They have the hatch open. Vertical or Hopes, I'm not sure which, playing the hatch, and again, no soft destruction. The drop down, Vertical drop, Sweater turns, tries to get 2 more coming in the Sunrise entrance. No such luck. Detox fouls out Vertical, leveling up 4-4. Just spotted out by the EOD was Vandal, but he was behind an indestructible wall. Now coming up on the flank is Super. The flanking bandit will drop Twix. That was the buck taken down, so they can't rip open the floor. Jay, as well as the Blackbeard alone topside, and Hookah now as the Lion and Twitch of Detox and Nip try to aggress onto site without having cleared out all of the roamers yet. That pre-placed Toxic Babe will get zapped by the Twitch drone. And now they have a flanking roamer topside ready to drop on them, and Super. Nip is going to drop immediately into the barbed wire into sight, but he's going to get ripped up by Super above the courtyard on the ledge. Both attackers now trying to fill in the exact same position. A wonderful reaction to drop Hopes, bring it down to a 2v3. But Super had rotated once again. He's gone back upstairs. He's going to wait for the flank. 15 seconds in above the Hookah hatch. He's ready to drop. The Valcam spots Jay inside of A-Bomb in the kitchen, waiting to come around the corner. But a wonderful read by Detox to shut down Super's flank. The plant is going down. Geo drops J-Tox. And there it goes. The Nitro coming out from Vandal drops Jay. Devious fall. A 2-1 victory for CNC on Playday number 2 in week number 1.
So a great job by Devious on border to bring it back. If there's 2 things that we have learned so far, ladies and gentlemen, it's that A, you don't bring Devious to border, and B, Devious isn't going to let their feelings get in the way of trying to claw their way back. A valiant effort on their part. Carnage and Chaos proving too much, and they will take the victory here 2-0. So a great played game. And in